Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. Gong hoi fat choi. My name is Jess Iszatt. Welcome along to Shorts on Tap presents Year of the Ox, a selection of shorts from China and Taiwan. So I'm born in the year of the goat, but the ox is the second in the 12-year cycle of animals, which appears in the Chinese zodiac with relation to the Chinese calendar. In store for you tonight, we have a cinematic journey celebrating Chinese New Year with an incredible selection of shorts from Chinese and Taiwanese filmmakers, featuring special Q&A sessions with some of the directors after. Get comfy, kick back and relax, and let's jump straight into tonight's shorts. Q, welcome along to Shorts on Tap. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad, but classic. We're meeting through a screen, which isn't the norm, but I feel like over the past year it kind of has been, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So we have your film, Deep Dream, and I really, really loved just the simplicity of the illustration, but how much comes to mind just when you're watching it. And obviously, the recurring sort of nightmare that unfolds through it. It's just I feel like I'm in it almost. Tell me about how the concept began.
It's like start from my own experience because I'm that kind of person have dream every day, and it's like experience of my own. I used to have a dream, like dream recent dreams, and I wake up again and again and again just on my bed, but actually they all in dreams. So it was like a very anxious time. So I think maybe that's how it starts. So the whole idea is from that. And after that, it's this film is I made in 2018. Also, from my own experience, I interviewed a lot of friends and people around me to ask them about their like when they're anxious or something, what their dream like, and I just write and record a lot of things. And after that, I quite like the part like feeling down. Like a lot of people said they have the falling dream, and also other thing. So I think it's a good part to take it out for like anxiety icon, something pull people inside.
I've definitely had this falling dream. And then when you land, you wake up and then you do talk about it with your friend. Um, I noticed that you had English and then what was the other language in there?
Oh, Chinese, Mandarin.
Chinese, Mandarin, yeah. Um, why did you choose to have both languages? I thought it was really, really interesting dynamic and I thought it was really effective as well.
Thank you. Is also basic on my own. Like my mother language is Chinese, but also I live in London for 3 years, and after that, there's two language inside me, and sometimes my dream is like not only in Chinese but also have English inside, and I use that for pour the audience into dream feelings. So it's just only can happen in dream. Like I'm talking in Chinese and another people talking in English, and but we can have conversation. I think that's the only thing can happen in dream. So actually,
It's quite fascinating. My mum is Malaysian. She speaks Mandarin and sadly didn't teach me. But she's mentioned that you can dream in both. And occasionally when we go back to Malaysia, because she spends all her time here now. Sometimes when she forgets a word, she'll sort of speak in English and then my auntie will reply in Mandarin. And so it kind of reminded me a little bit of that dynamic. So yeah, very interesting. And the illustrations, they're yours, right?
Yeah. Like,
Is this your particular style, or is this just a style for the film, or do you draw like this all the time?
no, I don't want to form myself in exactly same style. Just I choose these paintings just for this film. I use charcoal, hand drawn, and watercolor inside it. The charcoal feelings, it's the mark give just give me I feel more dream. Um, but my friend always says my film have a lot of eyes and hands inside. I didn't mean to, but when they watch my film, they always said that. I don't know.
It's true. I did notice that, especially with the sort of first-hand perspective when you're seeing just the hands, and then when you come to the people talking and there's lots of hands involved as well. It's quite visceral. I feel like even when she was falling through the eye, I felt like I was falling too. Bit trippy in a way. Are you going to do more? Because you said that you've got more notes on other people's dreams, and you've got lots of things that you've written down while speaking to people and interviewing people. Are you going to do more stuff like this?
Dream, maybe, but maybe not the film. I'm trying to write something different because in my mind, I trust there's another word in dream. So that's kind of my own thinkings. So I'm still like doing research and working on that, but maybe not like present as another film after, but I do want to continue the dream topic.
Is there anything that you learned from doing this project that surprised you about dreams?
Let me think. Just I read a lot of psychology books. But some ideas I agree, but some I don't. But I do from that project, I read more and think more, and learn more. I quite like the process of interview other people to say what their dream like. It's kind of they like to share their world to me, and you do can read some signal from their dreams, like how they like. Maybe some people they're kind of like outgoing, and they you think he or she didn't think a lot, but when you talk about to know more about their dreams, you can see another side of he or she. That's very interesting.
Well, Q, thank you so much for talking to me about this. What is the next project that you're working on?
Uh, you mean the last one or now?
Now, what are you working on now? Or can you not tell us?
I'm still doing the research. Kind of how the word feminism, feminism. Sorry, my English is good. Like about how like I want to work as a film from like a female
Oh, feminism.
feminism.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's great. That's amazing.
Because I do have a lot of conversation with different people. I feel something I really want to make, but it's still during research time. And when I talk something with people, especially men, and I feel a lot of things like we can understand each other. So that's very, how to say, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that makes me more like strong doing this topic. I think we need to speak out something.
For sure. I would love to hear it or see it or read it, whatever form this new project comes in. Thank you so much for joining us, Q. I know we've got another film of yours on the lineup tonight. So yeah, you're always welcome at Shorts on Tap.
Thank you.
Okay, Young Shang Chong, thank you so much for joining us on Shorts on Tap. How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've just watched Cloudy Days, and I can't lie, it is a roller coaster from start to finish. I mean, thematically, I guess you've got like marriage and remarriage within Asian culture. Uh, at times, it feels really quite dark, and also on another level, I've literally written down, being like, it's quite heartbreaking at points. And the specific point that I'm talking about is after they go visit the grave, and then all of a sudden, does she push him? Does she push him over the ledge?
Uh, do I have to give the answer or?
No, you don't have to
Yeah,
if you don't want
yeah,
to.
yeah. I li mm, okay. She did really push him. Yeah, but I try to make this look more like it's a
Is it
open.
supposed to be ambiguous? Yeah.
Yes, it's really open to the audience to decide whether she did push him.
Okay. Honestly, that was a twist like I've seen in Gone Girl, when you think the movie's ended and then all of a sudden she appears on the train. I just was like, whoa, this is like I'm seeing some sort of I don't know. I was like, what am I seeing? I feel like obviously we've jumped quite in the deep end here, but that was like my big question. Uh sorry for
Yeah, that's a
forcing
lot
you
of
to answer
people's
that.
big question.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was just, enjoying the film. I love that the sound effects are really like visceral. You feel like you're literally there, you can hear it. Um, Talk to me about where it was shot. It's in Taiwan, right?
Yeah,
Whereabouts was it shot in Taiwan?
where about? I
Where in
mean,
Taiwan was it shot? It's really
uh,
beautiful, the setting.
well, it's in Taipei, Taipei City. Yeah, and it's kind of abandoned dorm meant for the U.S. military in maybe 60s, and then we use it as our set. Yeah.
I think it's just really gorgeous, the whole scenery, and obviously the scenarios within the short film are quite, like I mentioned, a little bit dark. Tell me about the themes throughout and why you chose to explore these.
Okay. Uh, well, this story talks about the desire, inner desire of a immigrant woman, and she's married to Taiwan and then get divorced and then remarried to an old man that apparently doesn't fit her, and also the old man doesn't like her at all. She just sees he just sees her as a maid
Mm.
to help him managing the everyday stuff. And so but she is so young. She's like in her 30s or 40s, and she's also has desire. So I try to figure out how this stuff, because in Taiwan there are a lot of short films or feature films that talks about immigrants, especially the who were married to Taiwan, and they focused on this their social condition, their survival issues, and and actually in the past 10 years, I think the condition has improved a lot, and many of them have their children in Taiwan, and so I think that maybe I have to um, make it deeper to
Mm.
talk about these are things, because not very much are talking about desire.
And on the topic of desire, I've noticed that throughout she often pleasures the man. There's the scene at the very beginning with the husband, and then afterwards when she does go to make a move on the son, he decides to not do anything to her initially, and she was quite like on it with pleasuring him. What was there a reason for this?
Well, for me, in my perspective, I think that it may look a little bit like these women are only a subject, no, object to the man when she's giving them sex work, that she gave him a hand job and she gave the stepson a blow job. But I think there's a difference between these two, because you can see in the scene, in the car scene, when she gave the stepson a blow job, she's active, she's very eager to do such things, and yeah, that's a difference.
Okay, so there's more of a desire there. And did you ever think about the dynamics, obviously, that it would be a stepson, or is that the whole point? Was the attraction always there? Was it always meant to be there?
Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily to be the stepson, but she just needs someone
more her own,
other than, yeah.
Okay. And what's the response been like to this film?
So
people who've watched it, what have they said to you? What's it been like?
Good or bad?
Talk about the good ones.
Okay. Yeah. The good ones are, they said, well, most people think the same way as you. Yeah, like the first half is kind of dark and very depressed, or very, yeah, and then the second part, it's just, yeah, like a roller coaster, and I think, I myself think that many people might fall asleep in the first 10 or 15 minutes and then wake up in the car scene, or something like that.
Definitely not. I think for me, I was so fascinated to know more. Like, I really wanted to know. Obviously, this is all about shorts. So if you do decide to make it into a feature film, I'd obviously love to hear more of the backstories between all the characters. I think they're all really interesting. And I think that you found a really a strange dynamic, which you don't often see. And you've managed to not turn it into I think the darkness to it means that you know that there's more to it than just the lust. So I think that's what was really interesting to me. Can you explain to me the sort of outer body shot that's looking into the family homes? It's just before the end. There's a woman lying on the mattress. Is that her on the top?
A woman, yeah, is that her? And it was shot in you see the drone cut, right? And the drone fly up along the building, and then over the building, and all the way to the beach. And she's just like lying on the bed and on the rooftop. And it's that scene is kind of a fantasy one, like I right, you know, her name Yun, right? Yun means cloud in Chinese. And so that shot, the drone shot, just represents her as a cloud floating up from the ground, where she lives, to the sky, where the cloud belongs. That's where she's supposed to be. and fly up to the sky and over to the sea. Yeah. And
I guess
so
more free as well, and
yeah,
kind of
yes, yes.
mirroring the picture that the sun drew.
Yes, it's kind of like a inner exile, or she free herself inside herself. And then so the poster where she's lying on the rooftop, it's just like when she flies up like a cloud, and she can see those characters in the building in each floor. That's all the everyday scene in her life, and she can watch them in the distance, like that's not me, and I'm free now. I'm watching you suffering, things like that. Yeah.
And is that also similar to why she disappears at the end, or was that just a sort of, was that symbolic of being a
Yeah,
cloud as well?
yes, it's yeah, just like what you said. It's also like well, it's like the Marquez novel, The 100 Years of Solitude, and at the end, this old woman, she just like flies up to the sky like a bad sheet. You know that part. Yeah, it's something like that.
Well, thank you so much for filling us in on this. Did you enjoy making the film?
Yeah, it's tough. It's my first film actually, and but after a long time, when those hard memories disappear, and all is left is good memories. So I really enjoyed making this film.
Yeah, for sure. And are you working on any more short films?
Yeah, I just made a new one, and I'm working on another one. It's also short. I'm on the script phase.
Nice. Is there anything you can tell us about it, or is it still under wraps?
Okay. My second one, it's called Full Circle, and it just premiered at the last year's Kaohsiung Film Festival, and it's about an old fisherman whose wife just committed suicide very peacefully by walking into the sea. And they are both fisher, and this happens in a morning after they fish the baby eel, you know, that the little eel, like a glass eel, all night, and then she just walked into the ocean. And the story is about how this old man deal with the loss of his wife, and I try to make it more
It must be quite emotional.
It's yeah, totally the opposite way. I try to make it less emotional.
Less emotional. Okay.
Yeah, by because it's based on my you can say a true story of my life experience when I spent I spent a year by the sea. I lived there, and I have an old friend who's also once was a fisherman, and his wife passed away, and he just disappeared for a period of time, and after that he comes again, and then like nothing happens. So I wonder what's in his mind during this time, and so I made this film.
Okay.
And I find people who lives by the sea, they tend to like accept what's what this life thing or the nature works in their own way. So they kind of just accept it. They didn't make it too emotional.
Yeah. Did you interview him for the project, or is this a reflection of your thoughts, what you think might have happened?
You mean interview
Your
the
friend
ultimate?
who
No, I didn't. It just yeah,
you just took the
all my
idea.
imagination. Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds fascinating. You'll have to send it our way. Well, Young Shang, thank you so much for joining us today. We are actually celebrating Chinese New Year on this Shorts on Tap. So I want to know, before I let you go, how did you celebrate Chinese New Year this year?
Well, Chinese New Year for you like Taiwanese or in my generation, it's well, we do celebrate Chinese New Year, but it's less festive in
Yeah.
recent years. Yeah, because Chinese New Year is all about coming home, and coming home you have to tolerate some yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the shorts tonight. But thank you, Young Shang.
Thank you.
Wow, Q, what a film. Welcome back. We've just had Where Am I? And I feel like I've just been thrown into a whole new universe. Um, let's start with the concept. I'll let you tell me about it, please.
Yeah, how can I say? I Yeah, I just wanna ask, like, what do you see inside maze? What you feel? Did you find the question? Did you find the answer? Actually, it doesn't matter. So this film, like, we just watched Deep Dream, and as for me, it's like two chapters of me. Like Deep Dream is like chapter 1, and Where Am I like chapter 2, and they all talk about dreams, conscious and subconscious. Like some of the things I want to express. Where am I is like comes from some poems I wrote, but I delete most of them from dialogue. I just make them as a same. I just trying to melt them into the poems, into the film. Yeah, and the concept. Yeah, sorry.
It's interesting because it's so dark, but I'm just really, really obsessed with it. And I think that is, you've really touched on something when it comes to dreams. Like they can be very strange, very dark areas of your mind, and yet you're still so fascinated by them. You just keep coming back for more. And I think one of the lines in it, it says, I'm trying to catch the subtle trace of you. I know you still exist. Can you talk to me about that? I thought that was yeah, it's just fascinating.
Mm. It's in some way it's like conversation between the conscious and the subconscious. Like like I know the subconscious is somewhere, and I trying to find it, find the deep thing in the maze, and to find the deep place in myself or yourself, the part.
And there's parts of it which are really intimate, as in with quite a subtle, obviously it's illustration, so you've managed to do it really quite subtly, but where they're literally opening up, I guess, the other person when they're the same person, really. Do you remember the first person that you showed this to?
Sorry, excuse me?
Do you remember the first person that you showed this film to?
The, the first person
So when you drew and put the film together, who was the first person that you showed the film to?
let me think. Maybe friends.
I want to know what the response was, because often when quite a sort of intimate, dark area of your mind's entered, I feel like as an artist, perhaps this for you is quite cathartic, but for friends and family, perhaps to see it, it must be quite interesting to see this insight about you, or is it something that you showed them anyway?
How can I say, during the whole animation process, it's not like an illustrator or art piece. I just show you the final version. Just I showed like my friends or tutors still during the processing time. Like they can see how it's going and everything. Yeah, but actually my family first watched the film is on my graduation show, so it's quite late. And then my friends know more about me. So when I show like my poem and some of my sketches to them, yeah, they can say, yeah, like we can say something like just you inside.
And I noticed that you've got sort of the dark blues and just very dark colors, but it's only at the end that you see some sort of oranges, warmer colors. What was the resolve for you at the end? What was the ending basically?
Actually, I want to give the audience like open ending. It depends what you think, what you want. Like just making the film is from myself, but when I finish it, it belongs to everyone who like can feel inside. Like the end, it depends what you like.
I like to think it is a more positive end, especially since I can hear, I think, does she say Jie Jie at the end? Like sister? Yeah, because, oh, was it goodbye?
In Chinese.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe it wasn't so positive an ending, or unless she's saying goodbye to her demons. But yeah, definitely an open ending. I really enjoyed the whole thing. And I think lastly, I want to mention the soundtrack. How did you pick the soundtrack for it?
You mean the whole
music?
Music is made by a girl. She learned in Royal College of Music, and we have like working together. And at the beginning, I show her my like draft animation and to tell her what kind of music I want, and I bring some like music I like to her. And afterwards, she gave me a very like demo of her music first, and we also discuss. And her vocal is very nice. I really love the sound like she's singing inside. I just tell her just sing casually, and it was very beautiful. And afterwards, we do this some changes, but I keep most of the parts because her music is quite nice. I love her music.
I was going to say one of my notes is just literally lovely soundtrack, love the music. I think it's beautiful and it's worked really perfectly on a very dark piece too. So yeah, I mean, something to be very proud of. I can't wait to hear and see the new stuff that you've got coming on the way. Thank you so much, Q, for joining us on Shorts on Tap. How did you celebrate your Chinese New Year?
Oh, I went to the forest for walking. It's snowing recently, and so all snow inside and the lakes are frozen. It's quite chill to walking inside.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Yeah, we're still in lockdown over here. So I had a big Chinese takeaway, lots of dim sum. And yeah, that's about it really for me. Well,
Oh,
thank
I
you so
got
much.
dumplings, yeah.
Yes, yeah, dumplings as well. They're a must. Oh my goodness, couldn't go with the Chinese New Year without. Well, Q, thank you so much for joining us. And like I said before, you're always welcome on Shorts on Tap. Your short films have been absolutely delightful. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. My name is Jess Iszatt. This has been Shorts on Tap presents Year of the Ox, a selection of shorts from China and Taiwan in celebration of Chinese New Year. If you want to find out anything else about Shorts on Tap, make sure to head to the website shortsontap.com. And if you want to shout about any of these that you've seen, make sure to tag us at Shorts on Tap. I'll see you at the next one.